politics of invisible labor. We are now living in a state of tremendous flux where dignity of human beings are continuously being stripped off in the name of technological advancement. Welfare politics and welfare economy are replaced continuously with the growth of informal economy. Free market system has hit the labor market of both urban and rural areas in an unprecedented way. Temporary, unrecognized, underpaid, and unpaid works are having serious negative impacts everywhere. Rajasthan government is the first to enact Gig Workers Welfare Act in 2023, followed by Karnataka government Social Security and Welfare Act of 25. In our state, any such initiative is yet to come. On the other hand, no legal rule yet has been able to cover women's invisible labor.
Of our esteemed guests. Their presence today is not just a privilege but an inspiration, and we take this moment to express our heartfelt gratitude and respect. I would like to request our esteemed guests, please come on stage. Our principal madam and IQAC madam, please come on stage. Now it is the stage. Thank you, madam. Now may I request Dr. Sharvani Gupta please accept our token of appreciation. Again, I would like to request our principal madam, please do the honors.
And I would like to say the specialists in the field that we are holding the national seminar today. We have with us Professor Runki Basu, current head of the Center of Public Policy and Governance, Institute of Social Sciences, New Delhi. A hearty welcome to you, ma'am. We have with us Dr. Bandana Shen, ISS, present Director General at Directorate General of Commercial Intelligence and Statistics. Another hearty welcome to you, ma'am. One thing I came to know that she just right now that she has been a student of Jadavpur Vidyapith, and it was like the next door from where I lived inside the campus. So that's kind of, I'm trying to link everyone in our sphere. Another welcome to Ishita Chakraborty, Associate Professor of History with Dashagar College, Kolkata. Welcome again. We have with us Dr. Sharvani Gupta. If I start talking about Dr. Sharvani Gupta, it will be more than afternoon. We share a huge part of our life together, dating back almost 30 to 35 years. So, hearty welcome to Sharvani. And Dr. Onushwa Basu, Writer of the Secretary IAAPS, Senior Research Fellow, ONF, Kolkata. I've come to know that she happens to be the classmate of our IQAC coordinator. So we are all very much in the circle here. We feel very honored to have all of you with us. We are also very honored that Professor Lipi of IAAPS, though she's not present here today, she has sent us a message here. I think Ranjana, you're going to read it out for us. And also
for Asian and Pacific Studies. So I would like to introduce the students of this college to IAAPS. So IAAPS has been a multidisciplinary Interdisciplinary Association of Academics and Research Scholars for quite a long time. It's in fact, I think, almost 24 years that we have been around, and we have been doing very valuable work of providing a platform for researchers on various subjects, but more or less confined to Asia and Pacific region. And it would be a great pleasure to us if some of you, as soon as you finish your studies, join the association, so that we can also get to know what the young researchers are working on. So IAAPS has over the years done a lot of work. There is a running online journal that we have, and every 2 years we have a biennial conference, in association with some university, mostly outside Calcutta. We go to different parts of India. We have actually also been to Bangkok once, and we had a wonderful time there. And so, in association with another
Krishna Girls College, I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to our esteemed resource persons, guests, participants, students, and colleagues who have joined us today on the Politics of Invisible Labor, today's national seminar organized by Department of Political Science in collaboration with IAAPS and ICSSR. We are honored to have with us respected Professor Rumki Basu, Dr. Bandana Shen and Srimati Ishita Chakraborty as our keynote speaker and resource persons. We welcome Dr. Anusha Bosu Choudhury, Secretary IAAPS, Senior Fellow, Observer Research Foundation, Kolkata Chapter, and Dr. Sharbani Guptu, Vice President IAAPS. Respected Convener Dr. Lipi Ghosh, President IAAPS, is not well. IQAC wishes her speedy recovery. Thank you, Convener Dr. Sharbani Guptu and all faculty members of Department of Political Science for organizing this seminar, and of course, thank you IAAPS for giving us this opportunity to participate and for this topic, this invisibility, আমাদের অনেক resource person আসবে তা আমরা শুনবো. What I think this invisibility is intentional, and
Scholar of Public Administration is currently the head of the Center of Public Policy and Governance, Institute of Social Sciences, New Delhi. We already have heard this from our principal ma'am. Professor Basu has joined the post after retiring from Jamia Millia University on 2021. Before that, she was with Janki Devi Memorial College, New Delhi. With fellowship of ICSSR and UGC, she has completed 5 important research projects. A regular contributor of several international and national
policymakers, students, and advocates for change. It's a profound privilege to address you at the national level one-day interdisciplinary seminar on the politics of invisible labor, organized by the Department of Political Science and Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Vijay Krishna Girls College, Howrah. In collaboration with the Indian Association for Asian and Pacific Studies and sponsored by the Indian Council for Social Science Research here. At Jivanananda Shabandiyo, we gathered to cast a powerful spotlight on a critical and yet often overlooked pillar of India's socio-economic fabric, invisible labor, encompassing unpaid, informal, and guilt-based, which remains a pressing policy challenge in India. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Ruma Bhattacharya, Principal of Vijay Krishna Girls College, Howrah, for her visionary leadership in making this seminar possible. Special thanks go to the conveners, particularly Dr. Sharbani Goshan, Associate Professor of Political Science at the whose dedication and scholarly insights have been instrumental in bringing us together to address this vital issue. The country needs a comprehensive policy framework to recognize and value such work, addressing structural issues like gender equity, inequity, financial vulnerability, and lack of social security. By integrating more labor force studies and surveys, enhance social security systems, capacity building and regulatory reforms within the policy regulatory framework, we would lead to an inclusive labor market, empowering women and marginalized labor valued. In India, where millions labor without recognition, it is crucial to examine the complex dimensions of individual labor with a particular focus on regional variations, especially in West Bengal, where women's labor force participation has shown notable growth. According to the female labor force participation rate, an observational analysis of the periodic labor force survey from 2017-18 to 2022-23 by the Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister, West Bengal's rural female labor force participation rate increased from 19.8% in 2017-18 to 36.5% in 22-23, while urban female labor force participation rose more modestly from 23.0% to 27.4% during the same period. Drawing on global and Indian estimates, labor patterns, social security advancements, income inequality data, and insights from recent studies on the gig economy, the health impacts of unpaid labor, and measurement challenges in labor force surveys, we aim to contextualize invisible labor and propose actionable policies to harness India's demographic dividend while promoting equitable growth. The gig economy, exemplified by platforms like Swiggy and Zomato, introduces new complexities, blending opportunity with precarity and amplifying the invisibility of labor through algorithm GDP, equivalent to 9% of the total, with women performing 3/4 of this work. In low-income countries like India, limited infrastructure, such as access to piped water or electricity, increases the time women spend on unpaid tasks like fetching water or cooking with traditional fuels, amplifying their burden. The 2019 Time Use Survey reveals that Indian women dedicated 5 to 6 hours daily to unpaid domestic and care work, compared to less than an hour for men, valued at $3.1 trillion annually, nearly 40% of India's 2023 GDP of $7.8 trillion. This stark gender disparity underscores the systemic undervaluation.
Our chairperson for the session is Dr. Anushwa Basu Chudri. May I now call her on the
And indeed, it's a privilege to chair this session. And I have been listening to Dr. Basu's lecture in a mesmerized way, and how efficiently she has talked about, she has touched different sectors to give us a kind of holistic impression of invisible labor. So through her insights, actually invisible labor has become visible to us. So it is very important to understand the different dynamics, how we analyze multi-layered, multifaceted and
অরিজিনাল বাংলা। বঙ্গদেশীয় স্ত্রীলোকেরা বাবু ও অলস নয়, তাহারা রন্ধন করে, সন্তান সন্ততি প্রতিপালন করে, গৃহস্থালীর অন্যান্য সকল কার্য করিয়া থাকে। বিশেষত দক্ষিণী স্ত্রীলোকেরা ঘাস চলে, মোট বয়, এ গ্রাম ও গ্রাম পত্রাদি লইয়া যায়, চাকরানির কাজ করে, ধান রোয়ে, ধান কাটে, কাঠ বনে, দ্রব্যাদি হাটে লইয়া বিক্রয় করিয়া থাকে। এগুলি অলস ও বাবুর কাজ নয়। আপনি বঙ্গদেশের সাধারণ স্ত্রীলোকের অবস্থা যদি ভালোরূপে জানিতেন, তবে এ প্রকার লিখিতে সাহস করিতেন না। বোধহয় আপনি কলিকাতাবাসী, যে স্থানের লোকেরা ধান্যবৃক্ষ কেমন তাহা জানেন না। It's intriguing to note that years later in 1911, when the then census superintendent of Bengal, Bihar,
to know what was the situation in colonial Bengal, যেটা আপনি বলেছেন, আপনি পড়েছেন, তো সেটা হয়তো পরবর্তী সময় কখনো আমাদের সুযোগ হবে। যেহেতু ঈশিতা তাড়াতাড়ি চলে যাবে, আমি একটুখানি দুটো প্রশ্ন নিয়ে নিই ঈশিতার জন্য। যদি কেউ প্রশ্ন করতে ইচ্ছুক থাকো, সেখানে ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ ইজ নো বার, যে কোনো ভাষায় তোমরা প্রশ্ন করতে পারো। প্লিজ, ফ্লোর ইজ ওপেন ফর কোয়েশ্চেন্স। হ্যাঁ, একটু এগিয়ে এসো না প্লিজ, এখানে
ইন্ট্রোডাকশনটা দিয়ে তারপরে তো যা আপনি বলছেন যে উইমেন ওয়ার্কফোর্সের পার্টিসিপেশন, তো কলোনিয়াল বেঙ্গলের টিকিটের জেলা ভিত্তিক কোনো ডেটা রয়েছে?
না, জেলা ভিত্তিক তথ্য নেই। যেটা আছে সেটা হলো বাংলা প্রদেশের 4টি অংশ, উত্তর, দক্ষিণ, পূর্ব, পশ্চিম, এইভাবে ডেটাটা আছে। আর কাস্ট ডেটাটা রয়েছে, কাস্ট বেসিসে ডেটাটা আছে, কিন্তু তার সমস্যা হচ্ছে যে তার কোনো প্যারিটি নেই। অর্থাৎ 1911 কিছু যে সমস্ত কাস্টের হিসাব নেওয়া হলো, 1921 গিয়ে সেটা পাল্টে গেল খানিকটা, 31 আবার আরও পাল্টে গেল। এই যে পাল্টে যাওয়াটা, এটার কি কোনো ধরন আছে? কেন পাল্টালো? এই কোন কাস্টগুলি আসবে সেন্সাসে আর কারা আসবে না, এইটা নির্ভর করতো বেশ কিছু কাস্ট মুভমেন্টের উপরে। আমরা জানি যে 20th সেঞ্চুরির 20 শতকের গোড়ায় অনেক কাস্ট মুভমেন্ট হয়েছিল, এবং যাদের বেশ জোর বেশি থাকতো, কলোনিয়াল অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেশনের সঙ্গে নেগোসিয়েশন করা সম্ভব হতো, তারা একভাবে
thought that that could be an interesting thing to be presented here on the invisible worker. I don't try to want to tag the women only as invisible workers. There could be men also, although the percentage is less. But next, just actually, what it has been told many times. Female labor force participation, that is one of the important parts here to identify the invisible labor. Invisible labor যদি আমি আলাদা করে ভাবতে চাই, তাহলে তারা কারা? তারাই যারা আমাদের ডেটাতে, আমি কলোনিয়াল সেকশনে যাচ্ছি না, আমি ইন্ডিয়ান সেকশনে অ্যাজ দ্য রিসেন্ট মোস্ট ডেটা নিয়ে কাজ করার চেষ্টা করছি, যেখানে যাদের ডেটাটা, যাদের কাজ করাটা এই লেবার ফোর্স পার্টিসিপেশনের মধ্যে ঢুকছে না, they are out of labor force, because there is a detailed definition of labor as per ILO. ILO has made this definition very clear. So even if I do 20 hours work by doing something, putting embroidery for my sari, that will never be counted as a labor. I am a labor for this country. This will never happen according to the definition. Definition matters much, as Ishita was also told, that definition makes the whole data. Because even a simple data like age, if we don't know what exactly data we are asking for age, whether it is the last one, MTS, he is cleaning the board before every class is started. In my college, in Presidency College, there was this practice was there. Somebody else enters into
or something of that sort. Those are, nobody acknowledge his or her work in the whole college. College is, people are studying, they are doing their research, and nobody bothers about the person who cleans the boat. So this is also invisible in some nature, but this is some definitional aspect. Next. So if I go with the theoretical perspective, this has been detailedly told by Dr. Basu, Professor Basu. So how this inequality thing, this inequality theorem is primarily the feminist argument, because women are more in this invisibility, so there is an inequality when we are comparing with the men and women in the total, in country or in different countries. And the second one is the social transaction. I told that social is, something in our back of the mind that people.
Kids of those bloggers and daily life bloggers, I mean, because I'm including this as labor, because obviously they are making money out of the views and the subscription. And this article was, talking about the ill effects of, because the child, they are not giving their consent, and they are put in front of the camera, the infants are also put in front of the camera, and then as they are 1 year, I have a 2-year-old baby, and all the cute activities and everything is shot and put on the internet, and and obviously parents are making money out of it. If the child becomes popular and you have millions of subscribers and followers, don't you think so that this falls within the category of invisible child labor?
I personally, what I believe will not counted much, but of course, some way, if we think that I am putting my daughter to dance, and those dance reels are being posted in Facebook and or YouTube, and I'm getting money out of it, and she not knowing anything about it, I'm getting money of it. I mean, this is self-employed. Actually, in that case, I'm a self-employed. So I'm using hard scale to get money. So whether she is labor, of course, ideally, if we go by the definitions what I have made here, she is a laborer, and that is invisible as well. Not visible in the sense that I'm not giving him her that money, that dance, but maybe I, being the mother, I can use such a seminar, such an extent not have been possible. Then I'd like to thank our IQAC coordinator, Dr. Shweta Guho. Without whose constant support, it would not have been possible. Then I'd like to thank IAAPS, Indian Association for Asia and Pacific Studies, and also Indian Council for Social Science Research, ICSSR, for collaborating and sponsoring our program. Along with IAAPS, I'd like to
Now, to the second part, I would like to focus on the invisible labor, which is not only restricted to the domestic, but it is also apparent within the workplace, because women are typically expected to volunteer for unpaid and time-consuming kind of work to maintain the office culture, such as like organizing office parties, to maintain proper decorum, the cultural functions, team building, social events, and so on. So women are also, how gradually the domestic invisible labor is infiltrating into the workplace area also gradually. So it includes those activities that women perform in response to the requirements
of Computer Science, Vijay Kishore Girls College, Howrah. So today my presentation topic is ghost workers of AI, unseen labor in the age of automation. So actually I'm going to discuss something different that is completely unnoticed from the word regarding artificial intelligence. We actually know about the AI or artificial intelligence. It's very well-known word for us. But we don't know about the automation system, because behind the automation system there are lots of ghost workers. Ghost workers means it's not like ghosts, it actually real people. Okay, they actually ghost. Why I mentioned that ghost worker? Because they are invisible. They are
শ্বশুর বাড়িতে মুখ বুজে কোথাও মাথার উপর ছাদ নেই বলে বাচ্চাদের মুখ চেয়ে নিজের বাস্তবের আশ্রয়হীন অবস্থাটা জানে বলে সব রকম অপমান মেনে নেয়। আমি ইন জেনারেল এই আলোচনাটা করছি, এবং উচ্চবিত্ত বা উচ্চ মধ্যবিত্ত পরিবারের চিত্রটাও খুব একটা আলাদা নয় বলেই আমার মনে হয়। এবং এই জায়গায় দাঁড়িয়ে একটা সঙ্গত প্রশ্ন হতে পারে,
labor is also increasing in leaps and bounds. Most of these works that we have to do, they are non-remunerative, and for many they are non-promotable as well. So this results in some kind of a fatigue, mental, physical, and
in any economy there is three sectors. One is primary sector, another one is secondary, and third one is tertiary sector. And since agriculture is the main pillar of primary sector, that's why I chose this primary sector. Or unrecognized by statistics, policies and social recognition, that is called invisible labor. Next. So, nature of invisible labor, what we find 1 to 2022, and for calculating this I have taken disaggregate data. These all are needed. Next. Thank you.
Research, and there's so much possibly that you wish to say, but however, in one session here with 8 presenters, I think I've given you a fair amount of time. 7 to 8 minutes is what is given everywhere else. So I will not comment on any paper by name. I'm merely putting forth a few points for your consideration, which is important. Perhaps you could take this session as a learning experience. When you're making a presentation in a seminar or a conference and you claim that it's a research paper, not an article, because there's a difference between an article and a research presentation. The presentation should be based on either a survey research that has been done, or it could be based on a case study that you're working on. It could even be a comparative study of a small micro study or a macro study or whatever kind of study, but it's a comparative one which takes time, so you wouldn't have, it's not possible for you to make any, come to any conclusive suggestions at this point of time. But do understand that when you're calling your presentation or presenting it here as a research paper, it should show some evidence of primary research. It should show some kind of modeling that you had in mind, or at least you could lay down the parameters of a study which you want to evolve and develop, which could be something new. And that is the entire theme of the seminar was, I would say, a research-based, was expected to be research-based. Even I was told that in my keynote address I should have enough, data for presentation. And anyway, this is the age of evidence-based policy making. So if you want to make an impact, you should have enough data on the table to be able to suggest any kind of policy, whether a corrective measure, or you are advocating a policy, or you are suggesting a reform.